Hello, everybody. I wanted to come online today and tell you a bit about an exciting project that's happening in Ludlow next May. Some of you may know Deby Atterby, who is a tremendous aromatherapist from the Gold Coast of Australia, and she's going on a world tour and taking her book around and doing various lectures, and she's coming to stay with me for about 10 days in at the end of May. So she and I have decided to do a joint workshop here in Ludlow. It's one of a kind, and it would be surprised if it happens again. It would be lovely, but obviously it's a long way for her to come and do a workshop. So we're joining together to do something really extraordinary about the ancient usage of plants. Now, for me, this is a tremendous opportunity to show people some of the things that I learned when I was researching the Melissa book, because some of you will know that the Melissa were bee priestesses of ancient Greece, and I was to discover in the research that their practices that had been done in the ancient Greek temples were alive and kicking in parts of Britain and Wales, but also in Lithuania. And so, whilst I have written about the priestesses, I haven't written about the practices because their tradition is an oral tradition. And so many of the teachings have been passed from mouth to ear. And I was very keen that they'd lasted for 4,000 years in Greece, and then for another 2,000, and had been sealed by a vow of secrecy. And so I didn't want to write any of them down. And even though I wrote 2 books, none of the secrets are in the books. But I would like to teach them to other people very much. And so when Deb comes, this is the fantastic opportunity for me to do so. So what will happen is, over a weekend, the 2 of us will focus on 2 essential oils, on lavender and eucalyptus. And Deb will be bringing her fantastic knowledge of Indigenous medicine from Australia. And I will be showing people how the priestesses of antiquity learned about the plants. It was said that nymphs, the priestesses were nymphs, which is obviously both a beautiful woman and an unhatched bee, and that these nymphs were both woman and plant, and they had this incredible way of merging, of shape-shifting with plants, being able to embody and turn up in a way that they emanated and transmitted the medicine of the plant. And so it's taken a really long time to learn, to perfect that tradition, but now I'm ready to teach that, and I think it goes absolutely fantastically with the wisdom that Deb is bringing across from Australia. And so I'm hoping that you will be excited to learn both ways. In the morning, she'll be talking about the Australian medicine, and in the afternoon, I'll be using ancient and evolving techniques of teaching people how to merge with the essential oil, to embody it, and how to use it in different ways to the ways that we use them today, to be able to transmit healing in completely different ways. So I'm excited to show you what Deb had to say about her lecture. Hello, hello. I'm so excited to see you.
Oh, so good to see you too. Gosh, I can't believe all the way here and you're all the way over there, and before you know it, I'm going to be over there as well. It's 6 months down. That's all we've got.
It's 6 months away, and it'll go in no time before we're teaching our class together.
I know, and I'm so excited. I am so excited. We've got so much to deliver, and honestly, it's just going to be a real blast. It's going to be so much fun.
So I really want to show people a little bit about what we're going to do. So obviously we're going to do our 2 days, one day on lavender and then one day on eucalyptus, aren't we? So without spoiling it for me and telling me too much about what you're going to do, tell me about the lavender so then I can say about what I'm going to do.
Oh, right. I think you're trying to worm it out of me, aren't you? Hey? Well, you know, a little bit of the doctrine of signature on both of these particular plants, but also seeing what there really is, looking a little bit about that history. But I'm coming from Australia, and I want to show what we really have in Australia with those two particular plants as well. I want to show you exactly what we're able to do with those plants and how we work with them and how they grow. And I want to talk about a little bit of the history behind the lavender and how it actually got to Australia. Things that probably a lot of people don't really know about, because most
Yeah,
people
that's really exciting.
no, and most people, will be purchasing their lavender, obviously, from, from France and from England and things like that. So it's really good for them to really have their eyes open to see something a little bit different, and to really look at where we offer it in Tasmania and in Victoria. It's beautiful, beautiful lavender we have.
Do you know if it's chemically any different to what it is in the UK?
I'm not going to tell you because
Oh,
you have to be there to find out, don't you?
good, 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 good. I love it. So we should
Well,
perhaps
you're asking me to give all my secrets away, and I'm
no.
coming over there in 6 months, and I'm going to let you know all about that.
It's killing me. It's like Christmas all over again. I want to know what's in the packet.
Oh, that's exactly right.
We
You
should,
have
we
to
should
be
let
there
people
to
in.
learn.
We should
Mhm.
explain to people really how this came about, because it's an extraordinary idea, isn't it? How the two meld together.
I think it's it's very, very different to any other, I say to any other workshop that somebody else would ever really attend, because it's really opening all doors. Not only is it opening the real healing side of what we have, but it's also showing you that beautiful, spiritual side and the way that those plants really are able to give back to us.
Yeah. I really remember. Do you remember going back way down into lockdown when we were a bit bored, to be honest, and
Yeah,
we started doing our experiment with the Australian plants? So it was really so lovely for me, because
it was.
I was really trying hard to start to do experiments with the Melissa priestess stuff.
Yes, that's
Of
right, you were.
yeah. So the Melissae were nymphs who were both plants and women. So that was fascinating to me to try and work out, well, what does that mean? So going and looking at Australian plants that didn't really have anything spiritual written about them was
No, but let me
so
say,
helpful. Yeah.
there's a lot of things I'm going to bring over that you know nothing about. And one of those things is about our eucalyptus, and, things that people probably never even thought of. Because even though you have this most amazing way with that mystical thing, we also have our dream time. And our First Nation people have been a part of me for some time now, and I work alongside some of them, and the things that I have learned is actually very mystical too. So really, I think we've got something very, very similar in a very, very different way.
What I'm planning on doing in the afternoon with lavender, because let's be honest, most of us know lavender inside out, don't we? It's such
Right.
it's a dependable plant that we can all, use very safely and not have to worry about, really. But it's a plant that's very beloved by bees, particularly bumblebees, of course. I saw something the other day,
Mm.
actually. Somebody had done a study and they said that 87% of bees that went on to lavender were bumblebees. So it's very much connected with them. So working with the bee shamanism and lavender was really interesting for me to develop. And we're going to use some of the meditations that we do in bee shamanism to not only to get to understand lavender more, but to really get down into the conditions that people use lavender for. So, for instance, understanding anxiety more. How can we really
Absolutely.
start to understand our patient more that way?
Right. Well, I have my side to offer as well there, and mine's all going to be a little bit more, maybe a little bit shining through to the aromatic medicine side. And, I'm looking more on that clinical side as well, and how, even though lavender is here to say it's safety, there are things that we need to consider too. So I'm going to be looking a little bit differently in some aspects towards the afternoon with the lavender. We're going to actually get to do and make some product as well a little bit with that. So I want to teach people certain things that they probably may have experienced, but with a different background of that lavender behind it.
Gorgeous. And I am so looking forward to doing one of the meditations, because there's two fabulous musicians that I'm hoping will join us.
Oh,
A lady called Deborah Rose is an amazing singer, but I'm very lucky that she lives here in Ludlow. And the Celtic word for a nature spirit is Anamkara, and she has a song about Anamkara. So I'm hoping that she's going to sing it for us to do the meditation with.
You know, I think this is going to be something that everybody is going to look back and go, oh my God, I have never experienced anything like this. Because really,
because that is what I want. I'm very keen. You know, I've picked a really beautiful venue, and I've made beautiful notes for everybody to use. And it is all about the experiencing the oil and learning to embody the nature of the plant is what I want, more than, of course, we're going to go away with lots of information. We're going to get lots of book notes and lots of stuff from, you know, from different Indigenous backgrounds, but also I want people to walk out of there and go, I really experienced the oil in a really different way to how I've ever done it before. Yeah.
And I think that that's exactly what they're going to get. You have such an amazing amount of that mystical power. And I have to say that you truly do. And I love that. And that just excites me as well. I'm so excited to hear what you have to say and what you're bringing to the table. I'm excited about you hearing things that you don't know about as well, and about the plants and about Australia and how it really is as well with our essential oils. And it's just going to be so different. It's just going to be such a wonderful experience for you, for me, and for whoever else comes along to join us. And boy, I tell you what, they're going to go away feeling fabulous.
I'm really looking forward to hearing all the things there are to learn about eucalyptus, because outside of the physical medicine, there's really very little written. And so I was people have often said to me, you should write a book about eucalyptus. And I'm like, whoa, no, that's quite intimidating. That's quite intimidating to do eucalyptus. And even going into to really trying to use all the tools, you know, everything from doctrine of signatures to the different meditations to the different shamanism techniques. It's been very, very, very hard to build the picture and to start to understand, because I think, if I'm right in thinking, eucalyptus, the First Nations people say it's a portal to the three different worlds, don't they? To the upper world, to the lower world, and to this world. Well, that in itself says there's more than physical medicine, doesn't it? So,
and you see, we learn a lot from them as well. Like I spend a lot of time I'm with a lot of different associations with the First Nation people, and I spend a lot of time going to a lot of their functions that they put on with ceremonies and smoking ceremonies, and we talk about Dreamtime. So even know what we're going to have within our presentation, the things that I will be bringing to share with people is going to come from here. And that's the solace of it all, is to be able to be there and actually encapsulate what you're going to learn, not necessarily what we're going to see up on a PowerPoint or our notes. It's what I am going to give them from what they have given to me.
Yeah,
and that's something that people
beautiful.
don't know.
So last night I was watching Prince William on the telly, and he was doing this thing called the Earthshot Award. I don't know if you've heard of it. So it's a global award. I think there was 15 different finalists of people who were inventing things to look after the planet, to try to bring back balance. And the Indigenous women of Queensland won an award. Did you see that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It was so exciting to see them, with their First Nations knowledge about the turtles and about the plants in the sea. And I thought, that's what I'm going to get to see. Yeah.
So much. And you know, this is something that they do. And I don't want to say too much. You're trying to get everything out of me, aren't
Oh,
you?
good that way. That's why this is my job.
Don't you interview me like this. I know. There's so much that, like, a lot of the things with the First Nation people in Australia, and I can tell you this much, is that they don't like you to really rewrite a lot of their wording. So that's why when I come to see you, I have permission to speak, and I have permission to tell you it, and to bring that wealth of what they give to me. I'm not there to write about that for them, because that's not my side. That's theirs. That's their story. It's me to be able to show you and open up the doors to show you how wonderful it really is, and to educate you about things that we should have seen years and years gone by, to help with the healing process. Like, I know we have herbal medicine, and we have all of these different types of Ayurvedic medicines and all of that, but when you're in your own homeland like Australia, all of a sudden you stop and you go, oh my God, why didn't we use that to help
Yeah,
COVID?
yeah,
Why
yeah,
didn't we use that method of
yeah.
birthing? Why didn't we? So they're the sort of unusual things that I'm going to share with you, and, you know, share with all the people that come along, because it is something of a difference that's going to be delivered that day, or those couple of days. It's going to
It's
be
really
fabulous.
exciting to be thinking about, you know, the future is about going backwards, about bringing back all these ancient ways of doing things. And personally, I find using aromatherapy so much more fulfilling. Now I come from it from the point of view of, right, understanding it from an earthy point of view rather than from a textbook.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that's what's happening with really a lot of our First Nation people too. The younger people today are coming back up into the world, and they're going, hello, I need to know from my elders now, because we want to keep this going. So there's a lot of those sort of things that I'm going to share with everybody. I want people to see exactly what we too have in Australia. And these two special oils, or these two special plants that we've chosen, have got the most amazing powers behind them. And I know a lot of people already know that, but how did they use them? Okay, we didn't really have lavender, did we? But we do now. And so it's integrating. And I actually asked the First Nation people, I say to them, well, what do you think about lavender today? I mean, here it is. I can't tell you what they say, because that's part of it.
Ancient and evolving techniques. I think it's definitely the way forward.
Exactly. It's bringing the old and the new together. And they have very, very interesting concepts when they talk to you about this. And it's generally the younger people who now are moving into that part of that world.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. So I've got to tell you about the hotel that I've booked for us to be in.
Cool.
So I'm so excited, because everybody I keep saying it to, I've booked the feathers, and everyone's like, seriously, that's so posh. I've done it. So
is that posh? Looks like I'll have to wear my high heels.
Yeah, oh yes, definitely. And it's been recently refurbished, and it needed it because it dates back to 1616. So it's very ancient. And the room that we're in, actually, I'm going to spoil a little bit about it. When we go upstairs into the big ballroom, so we're going to be in the big ballroom. You know, like there's all like swords and shields and stuff on the wall. But as you go through the corridor, what you actually come past is like this. Well, why is there a window there? And you're actually seeing the original window that went out onto the road, all higgledy-piggledy from the 17th century. It's
my God.
Incredible, yeah. So, and it's really well known for its food, and Ludlow's well known for its food anyway. It's a massively attractive venue to come to.
Oh my God.
So,
see. Now I'm excited, because I really, really love history. So for me to come over there and see that, like, this is like, well,
there's plenty of history. We have a castle, no less, in Ludlow.
Oh, fabulous.
So what I want to say to everybody, actually, is the reason for saying this is because the event is the last weekend in May, and May is going to be such a big month in the UK, because of course it's the coronation.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, so so we'll have the coronation at the beginning of the month. but it'll be the bank holiday at the end of the month, the 27th, 28th, and
Right.
Ludlow gets really booked up. So if you're thinking of coming, if you're thinking you really want to come, and please do, because I just really want to see everybody after so long of not seeing everybody.
Yeah, face to
Book
face.
now, and also get in touch with me, and I will give you an email address for the lady that runs the feathers. Don't do it through one of the online websites. We'll get you a cheaper deal. So get in touch with me. I think there's 45 bedrooms at the
Wow.
Feathers, so most people will be able to stay there, but there's loads of other places in Ludlow to stay because obviously we're a tourist venue.
Well,
I can't
Elizabeth,
wait to see everybody.
I think you've obviously picked an absolutely amazing. I'm really very exciting, and I know, and I thank her very kindly, everybody who's listening, that I have not been able to do anything, obviously being so far away, but my thoughts and my feelings are right there. And I know that Elizabeth has absolutely reached highest points of making this fabulous. So when I get there, it's like a big surprise too for me. And I'm so excited.
Oh, yes. Yeah, just to let you know that Deb hasn't seen anything that I've done yet. So I'm making rather beautiful things here, there and everywhere. So it's... I'm a bit like I was when I got married. Everything's got to be beautiful.
Well, I'm so really, really happy, and I can't wait to come over and see what everybody else is going to have a look at as well. But with that, I'm really excited about coming over and sharing my country with everybody.
I can't wait. And thanks for doing this so that everyone else can see what we're going to talk about as well. And I just can't wait to give everybody some great big hugs after all of these months talking online.
And I can't wait to see everybody as well. And most of all, I can't wait to get over there and give you a great big hug and thank you for everything you're doing.
See you soon. Look after yourself.
Take care.